All right.
You must deliver the royal scepter to the Prime Minister at the castle.
Wandering One, how can I help you?
Once again, you are led to the throne room under guard. This time, a man stands there with a presumptuous grin. The man tells you to hand over the scepter. You tell him that you don't know what he's talking about. The man's mouth transforms into a twisted grin, and he signals his guards. They inch closer, swords at the ready. What will you do? You fall into a fighting stance. As soon as you steel yourself for battle, the Prime Minister and the Princess burst in. The Prime Minister orders the guards near you to stand down. The man twirls his cape and leaves, as if nothing happened. You sigh, relieved that you didn't have to shed blood in the castle to resolve the problem. The Prime Minister tells you that man was Count Dean, the younger brother of the king. He is trying to usurp the throne. The scepter indicates the throne's heir. The Prime Minister says Dean had Tommet steal it to deny the princess the throne. The Prime Minister takes the scepter and narrows his eyes in satisfaction. He pays you for completing the request. The fairy you saved in the ruins appears before you. She seems to want to take you somewhere. The fairy leads you into an old ivy-covered tower. You find yourself in a cluttered room that seems to be a laboratory. Judging by the stratific letters amidst the shambles, indicate that a magician named Lucane lives here. You find a message he penned on the desk. Lucane wrote that he was off to see a magician friend named Wallace in the underground labyrinth. The fairy uses various interpretive gestures to indicate that she wants you to find him. You accept her job request. You head to Wallace's underground labyrinth to look for the magician Lucane.
You're back. You have a request.
This underground labyrinth is said to have been made in a single night with powerful magic. It is a dangerous place, replete with traps. It bars entry to all who would dare.
Outstanding. It's my turn. Done. Oh, yes. I got it. Done.
The trap was sprung, and the door magically closed fast. Slime creatures are weak against fire. The torch on the wall could be used to great effect. The clink of metal hitting the ground can be heard. You obtain a magic key to open the door.
I'll stop them.
Out of the blue, a mouse darts out and leaps onto your palm. The rodent claims to be the apprentice of Wallace the magician. He says he was tasked with caring for the laboratory while Wallace was gone, but it is beset by malevolent magic users. When you ask about Lucane, the apprentice answers that his master's friend went into the labyrinth and hasn't returned. Your quest to find Lucane is delayed as you attempt to liberate the lab for Ricky the Magician's apprentice. The door to the laboratory is through this hall.
It's my turn. Voila! Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Filthy lucre. Damn. Let's see. Done.
Because the laboratory was being misused, some of the experiments housed within have now run amok. There's been a population explosion of mutated beings that spread their spores around. The labyrinth is overrun by fungi.
Yeah.
Here they come.
Oh, I can do that. I got it. Voila! They're coming. They're coming.
Destroy the cocoons before they hatch, or they'll keep coming. found some bones that seem to belong to Lucane in the depths of the labyrinth. The tattered raiments and jewelry leave no doubt that the corpse is indeed Lucane's. You bring back the bones of the magician Lucane. You found Lucane, but he was dead. You imagine the fairy will be overcome with grief, but you need to return to her. When you enter the laboratory, the fairy frantically flits around you, as if it senses your uneasiness. Upon seeing Lucane's bones, the fairy enters into a panic. She begins tugging at your arm to get you to leave the tower. The fairy is apparently attempting to lead you somewhere. You collect Lucane's bones and follow her. As you enter, a kindly voice echoes from the back. You seem to be in need of help, a monk says, and approaches you. You nervously hand the monk the bones of Lucane. Allow this heart to beat again. Quench their thirst. Lead the wandering soul back. Reverse death. And awaken them. The prayer reaches the goddess, and the pile of bones is once again given flesh. Lucane, shocked to find himself alive, thanks you profusely. He tells you to visit him at his laboratory and leaves. The resurrected magician has returned to the old tower in town. You decide to see him to ask more details.
Wandering one, how can I help you?
Welcome to my shop. What would you like? Which one do you want? What would you like? Which one do you want? What would you like? Which one do you want?
The magician Lucane is waiting for you in the laboratory of the old tower. It seems that dying had an adverse effect on his short-term memory. Lucane can't remember why he went to meet Wallace. Lucane is researching magic called runes, which are closely tied to spirits and fairies. Lucane introduces his fairy friend to you. Her name is Tiki. She left the fairy forest due to her strong curiosity. He thanks you again for saving him and allowing him to enjoy life's rich pageant. He displays his magic trinkets. Lucane says he'd be happy to sell you these items at a fraction of the normal price and answer any questions you have. What will you ask? Lucane says that he would be delighted to discuss this and launches headlong into a discussion about runes. Runes are magical letters that spirits and fairies carved into the world. You may have seen them yourself. Touching runes makes letters sparkle and float. Runes are a combination of 3 characters that create various effects. However, runes won't work unless a spirit or fairy is present. That's what you gather from Lucane's long lecture. Before you realize it, Tiki is following you around. She seems to have taken a liking to you. She will accompany you on your adventures henceforth. Fairies are known to be adept at finding hidden things.
Oh, which one?
A letter from the castle has come to you via the guild. It simply says to report to the castle in all haste.
You're back. You have a request.
You assume that the letter was sent by the Prime Minister. Perhaps he has another request for you. Count Dean is waiting for you at the throne room. It is he who sent the letter. After your previous encounter, you can only assume that he's up to something nefarious. You brace for combat. The guards have drawn their swords and are blocking the exit. Count Dean starts talking to you in a soft voice. He says that he has personally requested your assistance in performing a task for him. He wants you to scout Bilberan Fortress on the border. This underground fortress is a well-known structure. Originally built to defend against the Orc army, it now lies in Orc hands. Scout them and learn their invasion routes. It is a very dangerous mission, but refusal means that you will be at the mercy of Dean's guards. You accept. Per Count Dean's request, you agreed to infiltrate and surveil the subterranean fortress at the country's border.
All right.
Wandering one, how can I help you?
Allow this heart to beat again. Allow this heart.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. All right.
This underground labyrinth is said to have been made in a single night with powerful magic. It is a dangerous place, replete with traps. It bars entry to all who would dare.
It's my turn. Oh my. Yes. Voila!
The trap was sprung, and the door magically closed fast. Slime creatures are weak against fire. The torch on the wall could be used to great effect. The clink of metal hitting the ground can be heard. You obtain a magic key to open the door.
turn. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Simple. It's my turn. Done.
Careful!
Let's see. Simple.
Huh?
I got it. Voila! Outstanding. Oh, yes. Done.
They're here.
It's my turn. Simple.
The grubs are turning into cocoons. You must destroy the cocoons before they hatch into beetles. You left the fungi-infested underground labyrinth. Per Count Dean's request, you agreed to infiltrate and surveil the subterranean fortress at the country's border.
You're back. You're back. Oh, yeah!
These are the ruins of the ancient capital city. It was destroyed following an invasion from the Northern Empire. Now it is a dangerous place, full of dragons and wyverns.
They're coming.
Oh, I can do that.
Here they come.
Let's see. I got it. Simple. Let's see. Voila! Outstanding.
Enemies!
Be careful!
It's my turn. Luca. Pesky nets.
It is almost as if this region has regressed to primeval times, an era when reptiles ruled the world. After defeating the Wyvern, you quickly leave the territory.
Wandering one, how can I help you?
Allow this... Allow this...
All right.
Oh, yeah!
Okay. Welcome to my... What would you like? Which one do you want? What would you like? Which one do you want? Welcome to my shop. What would you like?
back.
The Orc army presently controls Bilberon, the underground fortress built into the canyon. The king's army has been mounting a fierce offensive to try and reclaim the fortress. You step into the enemy kitchen. A corpulent chef grabs a goblin instead of meat and suddenly stops. The cook, sensing your presence, stares directly at you. Luckily, her sight's not so keen, so she doesn't notice you. Eventually, the chef returns to her meat cutting. You use the goblin's screams to mask your escape. Pathway, blocked with a stone wall, doesn't look like it would give way unless you bombed it.
Let's see. Voila! Oh, yes. Simple.
Enemies.
Let's see. Simple. Filthy Luca. Outstanding. Oh, I can do that.
Here they come.
It's my turn. Let's see. Voila!
Enemies!
I got it! Oh
Oh, quit it!
Oh my. Please. Outstanding.
At the bottom of the stairs is an area connected to the sewers. This seems your most likely escape route. After defeating the Minotaur, you move through the sewer's filth. The reconnaissance mission went well. You gathered intel and slipped back across enemy lines. Among the treasures you claimed is the great sword of the hero Javelin. You succeeded in acquiring intel on the underground fortress. This job will be completed once you report to Count Dean.
Wandering one, how can I help you?
Allow...
May they rest in peace. 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 May they rest in peace.
As you leave the temple, his raspy voice makes it difficult for you to discern if he's even speaking your language. You can give him a coin if you feel pity for him. Of course, you're free to walk away. He doesn't even acknowledge the coin. He mutters over and over. You probably won't be able to communicate with him, no matter how long you strain your concentration.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Welcome to... What would you like? Which one do you want? What would you like? Which one do you want?
Oh, which one?
You're back. first.
You report everything you learned to Count Dean. Unfortunately, you also mention the hero's legendary sword. Naturally, he demands the great sword, but at least he's in a good mood now. He thought you'd just flee, but you didn't. It seems that he thinks much more highly of you now. Dean confides in you some of the problems in the castle. Once the king went missing, the Prime Minister began recommending the Archduke MacNeil of Bulgar to the throne. Bulgar is an aggressive nation to the north. MacNeil is related to the King of Highland and has a legal claim to the throne. Count Dean claims that MacNeil has been rallying nobles in Highland to support his claim to the throne. That's why Dean hired Tommet to steal the scepter. He says that Tommet is extremely trustworthy, so long as he is paid. Suddenly, the Prime Minister and the Princess appear. It seems you are being watched. The Count glowers and departs. The Prime Minister warns you not to involve yourself any further. The Princess, as usual, looks back with blank eyes. Since you completed the job at the castle, you return to the Adventurers Guild to tell them what transpired. Roland also happens to be here to report on a job. However, Samuel is not here. Roland thinks that he just missed him and asks you to track down the Guildmaster and bring him back. You look for Samuel, the Guildmaster. He should be somewhere in town.
Welcome to my shop.
Oh, how can I...
Wandering One, how can I help you?
As you leave the temple, a ragged old man slumped in his raspy voice. You can give him a coin. He doesn't. You probably won't be.
Wandering One, how can I
As you
help
leave the temple, his raspy. You can give him a. He does. You probably.
Wandering One, how can
As
I
you
help
leave the temple, his raspy voice. You can give him a. He doesn't. You probably won't. You recall what happened at the castle. You report everything you learned to Count Dean. Unfortunately, you also... Naturally, he demands... It seemed once Count Dean... That's why suddenly the Prime Minister...
Oh, how can I help you? Which one?
When you tell him that you can't find Samuel, he tells you to check the temple. Samuel prays for his friends on occasion.
Did you find him?
Wandering one, how can I help you?
A giant man in armor finishes his prayers and turns around. His pensive expression quickly turns fierce as he sees you. He tells you that he was praying because he has sent many friends to look for the king, but they haven't found the slightest clue. When you ask to help, Samuel just nods and hands you a request form. It's the same request the temple gave you. In a remote region, marriageable girls are disappearing one by one. The catacombs are believed to be linked somehow. As you leave the temple, his raspy voice makes it difficult. You can give him a coin if you feel. He doesn't even acknowledge the coin. You probably won't be able. To solve the mystery of the disappearances, you head to the catacombs, where the villagers fear to tread. In the catacombs, stark white bones are strewn about the ground as far as the eye can see. The sheer number of the deceased is the only indication left of this area's former prosperity.
It's my turn. A strange knight stumbles out of the darkness towards you. You surmise that he is not of this world. The knight is muttering to himself, as if in a daze. If I end my own life,
They can no longer sacrifice me. When you move closer, the knight extends his hand. He's holding a scroll. When you accept it, the knight disappears. The path ahead of you is connected to the ruins of the castle colloquially called the Castle of the Dead. In olden times, whenever a girl disappeared, the locals would say she'd been called to the Castle of the Dead.
Yes. Simple. Simply Lucas. Oh my.
Because ghosts are incorporeal, they are completely immune to physical attacks. Their weakness is light. Torchlight will drive them off.
I got it. It's my outstanding. Let's see. Voila.
You saved a village girl. You must protect her now.
Yes, simple.
You saved a village girl. You must protect her now.
Here they come.
Filthy Luca. Oh, I can do that.
What?
Oh, yeah. It's my turn. Voila! What? Oh, yeah. It's my turn. Simple.
The vampire smirks and flies away. You saved a village girl. You must protect her now. Protect the village girl. If she's bitten by the others, she will become a vampire as well. The kidnapped girls had been turned. They are now vampires, attacking other people. You utter a silent prayer, hoping that you have slain the last vampire, and leave the ruins. In your hands is the bloody scroll that the ghost knight had given you. You have unraveled the mystery of the village girls' disappearances. Obtain your reward at the guild. You are curious about the bloody scroll. You show Samuel the scroll and tell him what you saw in the catacombs. After examining the scroll, the signature and other details indicate that it is a letter from the king to the princess. It is a report telling her that he had obtained the dragon's crown. You wonder if this letter is true. You can't deny that the ghost was clad in mail that was eerily similar to the king's armor. So perhaps this is true. The king's death will profoundly affect the kingdom and neighboring lands. Samuel orders you to report it to the castle.
You have a request. Stop!
Immediately, you are overwhelmed by guards and thrown into the castle jail, charged for a crime you did not commit. This is a common fate for people who hold a royal secret. You are being removed from the drama at the castle. After a few days, the cell door opens. Once your eyes grow reacclimated to light, you see Count Dean standing before you. He unshackles your ankles and explains the situation to you. The Prime Minister had been jailing all of Dean's allies. As expected, Gustav was working for Bolga. He used a magical necklace to control the princess and influence Heidland. Once Dean got Princess Vivian to safety and confronted the Prime Minister, Gustav fled with a ship full of treasure. The princess apologizes for involving you in this. While she was a hostage, Dean couldn't confront the Prime Minister. This kingdom needs a new ruler immediately. Dean is no saint, but he would make a good leader, you think. However, when Gustav fled, he also stole the royal orb, another treasure that represents the right to rule Hydeland. If McNeil gets the orb, it will likely result in civil war. However, the orb does not appear to have reached Bulgar. Princess Vivian asks for your help with this incident. You immediately agree and begin searching for the orb. Gustav's ship chose a pirate route, likely to elude captors. Perhaps his artifice was his undoing. You should investigate. To get the orb back, you travel to Ghost Ship Cove, a known pirate hideout.
All right.
All right.
The Orc army presently controls Bilberon, the underground fortress built into the canyon. The King's army has been mounting a fierce offensive to try and reclaim the fortress.
It's mine.
They're coming.
Oh, I can do that.
The pathway,
I got it.
blocked with a stone wall, doesn't look like it would give way unless you bombed it.
They're here.
Hadouken! I got it! Oh yeah. Pesky gnats. It's my turn. Simple.
They're coming.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
At the bottom of the stairs is an area connected to the sewers. This seems your most likely escape route.
Enemies!
After defeating the Minotaur, you move through the sewer's filth. You were able to safely escape from behind the enemy.
All right.
You're back.
In the catacombs, stark white bones are strewn about the ground as far as the eye can see. The sheer number of the deceased is the only indication left of this area's former prosperity.
Here they come.
It's my turn.
The path ahead of you is connected to the ruins of the castle colloquially called the Castle of the Dead. In olden times, whenever a girl disappeared, the locals would say she'd been called to the Castle of the Dead.
Oh, I can do that. Let's see.
Enemies.
Yes. Let's see. Simple. Oh, yes. Voila!
You saved a village girl. You must protect her now.
Thank you.
I got it. Simple.
You saved a village girl. You must protect her now.
They're here.
Yes.
Here they come.
I got it. Outstanding. It's my turn. Simple.
The vampire smirks and flies away. You saved a village girl. You must protect her now. Protect the village girl. If she is bitten by the others, she will become a vampire as well. kidnapped girls had been turned. They are now vampires, attacking other people. You utter a silent prayer, hoping that you have slain the last vampire, and leave the ruins.
You're back.
Oh, how can I... Which one?